Welcome to Guns Up Review. Today we're talking about wacky stuff. And how wacky is this thing? It's the Calico M100. Come on back and let's discuss. Welcome back, gang. Today we're talking about the Calico M100 semi-automatic pistol. I guess it's a pistol. It's kind of based on the 1022. It's a blowback semi-automatic pistol. The unique thing about these pistols were that they had this 100 round helical magazine. That's what kind of made them unique. And so what happens here, you'll notice the bottom, see how this looks like a regular 1022 magazine. The 1022 is a rotary magazine, so it feeds those rounds. 10 go all the way around that magazine. Well, this one, what it does is it just feeds them around in a helix all the way around, and so you wind up getting 100 in there. It has a release spring back here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you heard that. So that spring, that sound there was that spring unloading. There's a big coil spring that was right down the middle of this that puts tension on that actually feeds those 100 rounds out of there. So this thing has a little lever here on the back that you would wind up. And as you wind that up about 25 times around, that puts spring pressure on there and forces the bullet to come out of the ejection port here. And then if you're storing this for a long period of time, you push this little button, and then that horrible sound, which sounds like gear stripping, probably is, relieves the tension off of the spring, and so you can keep it in perpetuity loaded. All you have to do is wind it up when you get ready to go, and there you go. It also has little windows in the top of the magazine that show you how far down the magazine you have rounds. Well, at least in 3 places. So I'm not sure how many it takes to get here, but you have at least 10, I guess, when you're here. But anyway, so you can kind of see how loaded your magazine is. These magazines are not easy to load. They just kill your thumb. They do make a little speed loader for them. I'm not sure how well it works. One of those little hot lip speed loaders. But anyway, I don't have one of those. I don't know how well they work, but I can't imagine they work very good because these things are hard to feed. So anyway, this is not my favorite gun. I mean, it's been nothing but trouble since I owned it. So there's one thing. I have a couple of these magazines. They are hard to load, but I mean, 100 rounds last forever. So here is what's left. Again, you'll notice we have a charging handle over here. This is obviously unloaded. A blowback system very similar to a Ruger 1022. As you fire this, it blows the bolt back and ejects the cartridge out the side, stripping another cartridge. The 1022 strips from the bottom, this strips from the top, so it's basically a 1022 action upside down. But anyway, cool design. I mean, it looks really funky and weird. Check out these pictures. This gun was featured in the 1987 movie Spaceballs. Y'all remember how corny that was, and they needed some gun that looked super corny for that looked like a laser gun, and the old Calico 100 fit the bill. So there you go. If that's your claim to fame, I don't know that that's a good thing or not, but anyway, I've owned this gun for quite some time. It has never been one of my favorite guns because it doesn't function well. It has a hang up on ejection about every 3rd shot. It stovepipes bullets one on top of the other. I don't have trouble feeding out of the magazine, but the feed ramp going into the chamber or the ejector, I don't know what. Anyway, it has been a pain. So what we're going to do is we're going to visit this thing one more time. I dislike this gun very much, but we're going to give it another try. Okay, so what we're going to do is go out to the range and we're going to load 2 different kind of bullets in here. I have some Federals and then I have some Remington cheapos. They're both round nose. These little semi-automatic 22s, including the Ruger 1022, really like round nose bullets. They don't like the little 22s with the step on them, the flat nose with the step. They don't feed very well. So they're both round nose, but does one work better than the other? What we want to get to the bottom of, is the problem the gun? Is the problem the ammo? Or is the problem the magazine? I don't think it's the magazine. But anyway, I think it's the gun. Something's wrong with this gun, but we're going to give it a shot. So we're going to go out to the range and we're going to shoot both the Remington and the Federal ammo, and let's see how we do. Okay, let's go out to the range. The only thing that this demonstrates is that my man Kyle here is very patient. How many reloads was that?
Too many.
Cleared it like that many times he had to clear it. I don't think it's the ammo. I think it's that thing. Yeah, we got the 10, right?
10 one time.
All right, we'll talk about it some more. Okay, so you see how frustrating this thing is to shoot. So I'm going to go out tomorrow and I'm going to shoot it one more time. I'm going to give it another chance. Surely it can't be this bad. It's not the ammo with what it's got now, but I'm going to clean the crap out of this, lubricate it where it's wet as it can be. It never misfed from the magazine, so the magazine's not the problem. It's the action here. We're going to shoot it 100 more times at the range after I clean it. So I thought I'd show you really quick how to clean it. There's two pins. One here, one here. They'll press out and then the whole assembly will come up. So there's one of the pins out. Let me see if I can get this other one out of here. You don't want to go crazy. I have a little brass hammer. Maybe I have to go a little bit crazy. Okay, just lightly tapping on it. Oh yeah. It comes out pretty easy. Well, I say that, and I can't get it out of there. I'm going to tap it all the way out then. I'm just barely pecking on it. So little pin's coming out pretty easy. Come on, baby. Okay, so there's my little drift. I pushed it out. All right, so it's out of there. So now this should come forward. And yeah, it's a little dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this and clean it real good, put it back together, and we're going to go and shoot this 100 more times. We're going to figure out what's wrong with this crazy thing. So. Okay, my friends, it's all clean, greased up, oiled down. Let's put her back together. First thing, take the bolt, put the bolt back on, okay, and make sure it hooks back over the trigger, okay. Take your mainspring And it's got a little groove that the mainspring fits in. You'll have to compress it just a little bit to kind of hook it back here on the back. There's a little plastic buffer pad that goes behind the mainspring. And so we'll pull on the mainspring a little bit, and then that pad will go right back in there. There's a little hole for the spring to snap into. And the last thing is this little guide rod with a little deal on the end of it there, and that fits in this little groove right down the top of there, right? Then simply fold it back together. You may have to pull the charging handle back just a little bit to get it snapped back together. Put our 2 pins back in, one in the back, and then one in the front. One up here. Hammer those back in, and then we're ready to go back to the range. So let's go back out to the range and see, once I've got it all oiled up and cleaned up, let's see if it shoots better. Here we go. Okay, we're going to shoot the Calico M100. Got a 100-round magazine loaded up. It's the world's most accurate .22 pistol. Not even close. Got a new target. Let's see if I can hit, I don't know, 10 out of 100. It's clean. We're going to see how many times it misfires now that it's all clean and oiled. All right, here we go. I hate this pistol. Oh, this thing is so frustrating. Really? There you go, I'm done shooting this thing. It's the most frustrating pistol I own. Surely somebody at Calico could fix this thing where it works. Give me a shout out if you work for Calico. I'll see you next time.